I want to show you how you can combine some of that stuff with Canva and do some really cool scheduling ahead of time. So a time saver kind of productivity sort of thing. I love the social media posts. There's a whole bunch of other stuff in here, including patient help sheets. But in the social media graphics, what he has started to include are templates that you can edit in Canva. So these are beautifully done templates, right? Here's one on napping. March 13th is Happy Napping Day. So I opened this up in my Canva. So here's the cool part with this. Number one, they're beautiful. You do not have to change them at all. But if you wanted to add your branding, you could change the colors, right? So if you have different branding that you want to put in that's from your brand, you can do that. So that's pretty cool. All right. Stick with me here because it gets more fun, much more. Here's the improve your sleep quality. Maybe I want to edit because have you guys ever used a weighted blanket? What are your opinions on weighted blankets? So maybe I want to add in here, use a weighted blanket. Hopefully I've spelled that right. And maybe I want to add this to this thing and I want this duplicated. So you can edit these. And we need to change this around a little bit. Maybe flip that. Let's flip it. It looks a little bit weird. And then let's move it to the back. Backward. Back. There we go. So now we keep the same idea of what he has here. So maybe I want to add some stuff in there that's more about what I'm going to then tell my patients about. So you can edit these and change it to your brand colors. Oh, that looks terrible. But here's what's fun. Let's redo that. If we go into designs up here on the left-hand side and go to styles, I actually have my brand fonts here. So I could click on that and it would change all the fonts to my brand fonts. Did you see that? Let me go back. So again, these are the fonts that came in. My brand fonts are here. I actually like his better. But if I wanted to do my brand fonts, I could do that. And everything, sometimes you have to come in and you have to realign things a little bit when you're changing fonts and stuff like that. But this actually goes pretty well. Then I also have, so I have different brand boards, whether you have the free version. If you have the free version, you cannot do a brand kit, but if you have the pro version, which I had the free version forever, it is the best $12. I use this all the time. So I have different brand kits for different things. So like I have a brand kit for my cat. If I wanted to change this to the brand kit for my cat, you see how I'm clicking through this? It's automatically changing. So there's a cat in the picture, so this would work. I could do that, right? So that's fun. Or I could go back into my actual brand kit and I could go here. This is for my business. So you could see how I'm just clicking through and Canva is automatically changing all of the colors, right? And then when I find something I can say apply to all pages. Now that would be if I had a whole bunch of other pages there, it would make sense. But because this one right now is different. So if I want to say apply to all pages, it now changed that one to also match the blue text in here. And then let's make sure that I have the font right here. So I don't like that. So I'm going to leave that the way it was. Okay. So that's what's pretty cool about this right now. I don't think this is as pretty as Jeffrey's. So if I didn't like this, I could just use my back button a million times and go back to where I was. But let's say I love this and I want to keep it. Now I want to post it. But the thing is that this is Happy Napping Day, March 13th. So did you know that you can use Canva? Come over here to share and I can go to schedule. See the schedule with the calendar. So I can hit schedule. So I can then go to March 13th and I can even schedule the time that I want it to go out. So maybe I want it to go out at 6 a.m. because who doesn't want to start napping at 6 in the morning? And then I go to next. And then this is select a channel. So now I can put it on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Facebook group, Pinterest, LinkedIn. So you can select whatever you want. So you have a way to schedule everything at the same time that you're creating the different images, the different graphics. So this is a real time saver, in my opinion. and along with all the different graphics that you can get from Jeffrey here and edit them and put your own brand colors in here. This is a great way to be able to share, keep yourself in front of patients. And I think that most of what these graphics do is promote your clinic, right? They're getting people to come in through your doors, but you can edit the call to action when you have a Canva template. So for me, I'm not trying to get people to come through my doors right now, but I might want to show them an online class that I'm doing or a product that I've researched, something like that. So then I can change the call to action in these. So the other thing I wanted to show you is ChatGPT. So the link is just chat.openai.com. I saved this because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to log in. But here's one of the cool things that I did earlier today. So here's what I did, and I'm going to read this because I know this is really small and hard to see. I wrote this, please list 10 inspirational quotes that are funny and uplifting from famous people. Okay, so that's the first kind of thing I'm asking Chat GPT to do. Then I'm also saying include the author and list them in a table with the quote in the first column and the author in the second column. You'll see why this is cool. So this is real time. I wasn't sure if this was going to happen with me running Zoom at the same time. So now they're listing the quotes. Sure, here are 10 funny and uplifting quotes from famous people. We've got Lily Tomlin, George Burns, Oscar Wilde. So these are being listed and they're doing it in a table. The quotes on the left, the authors on the right. Okay, great. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this list, this table. I'm going to copy it, including the quote and the author. Stick with me here. And I'm going to open a Google Sheet. So we're going to go Sheets, New. We'll just open a new Google Sheet here. It's a little trick there. And I'm going to paste this in here. And I've got quote and we've got author. So I've got just 2 columns, right? Quotes and author. Now look what we're going to do. We are actually going to come back to Canva. I'm going to call these my 10 quotes. Watch this. And so I'm going to find like a template that's quotey that I can, it's just something simple for me for right now. And I can put in my brand colors. If I go to design styles and we'll do some branding. It looks like this background, it's not going to change. I picked a template. You can pick whatever one you want. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom here and go to apps. And there's this thing called apps. I think it's called bulk. Here it is. It's a separate little thing right there, bulk create. Okay, bulk create. So I can upload a CSV, the spreadsheet right here that I just created. I could save that as a CSV, or I can enter the data manually. So for this, I'm going to clear the table and I'm going to do, the first one is the quote, and I'm going to just take these 10, copy. I'll go here and I'll do paste. So all 10 of my quotes just came here. And then I want to do another one. And this is the off. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to grab these, copy, and let's add these to this column. There we go. And then I'm going to hit done. Now, what do I need to do? So I just put those in there, but Canva doesn't know which is the quote and which is the author. And I actually don't even have a text field for the author. So what I need to do is first I'm going to this is the quote. So what I do is I select where the quote's going to be, and I use these 3 dots and I do connect data. So this is the quote. So I'm going to connect the quote there. And now you can see that's a code to bring in that field, which is the quote. But now I also need to do an author. So I'm going to just come down here and we'll make this a lot smaller. We'll make this 18 and maybe we'll make the font something a little bit cuter. We don't want that to be the quote. We want this one to be the author. So now I have the quote up here and I have the author down here, and see if we can make that centered also. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is, so I've got the quote down up here, the author down there. I have my colors way that I like them, and I'm going to do continue. And now you can see all 10 of the quotes that I just bulk uploaded are right in Canva. And now I'm going to say generate 10 pages. And now you can see along the bottom, Now I have to rearrange these a little bit. Each one of these is going to be a little bit different, but now have 10 quotes in my brand colors, in my brand fonts that are all set for me to upload into Facebook. So obviously I would read through these and make sure these are appropriate. But you can see this is pretty darn cool, right? Look how fast that was. That was pretty fast. And so now I can just come up to my share, and I can go to schedule, and I can choose them one by one and put them in different days so that I have everything in for the month. That's pretty cool. So hopefully I save you a little bit of time today. Check out Jeffrey Grossman's AccuDownloads. Use the ABA10 code to get 10%. And Canva, there's so much you can do with it. Just get used to it. And doing that bulk upload thing and then combining it with ChatGPT. You're going to keep finding things like this to really improve productivity and do some really fun, creative things. All right. I hope that was good.